Unit 3, Lesson 11 deals with translating expressions, all right, which is actually going to be a review of a first semester topic as we move into translating equations and solving word problems over the next couple of topics. So again, a quick little review. That little sign right there is known as a plus sign. There's a number of different words that will tell you to add, all right, including we should have, let's see, the sum of, and then I'm going to actually put this in parentheses, and you should do the same. All right. We could say increased by, all right, more than, all right, added to, or any form of the word addition. So I'm just going to write add, all right, plus, again, all right. So all words we're familiar with, all right, but just a reminder, okay. The next symbol, all right, we have the difference of. Notice I'm putting that in parentheses. You should do the same. There's a reason for that. All right, we could say decreased by, all right, less than, and of course any form of the word subtract, all right, minus, and there's some others as well, but that's a pretty good list for right now. All right, the next one we have the product of. All right, any form of the word multiply, like multiplied by. All right, here's a big one of that a lot of people forget. All right, of course, times, although we really don't say that. All right, that's a good enough list for right now. And then the last one, all right, we have the quotient of. All right, and any form of the word divide it, like divide it by, okay. There's a couple other things I'm going to go ahead and write in here that you need to write as well. All right, for example, less than, remember, is subtraction in opposite order. All right, so make a note here that you have to switch the order. Switch order. Same thing with more than, although it's not quite as important with addition as it is with subtraction. All right, but it's something we want to include. All right, something else under multiplication we could have is twice, which is very specific multiplication. It's multiplication times 2. All right, also under multiplication we could have squared. All right, which means it's a number times itself. Okay. Which we could look at like this, x squared, okay? And again, we're going to come across others, all right, but this is a pretty solid list to get us started. All of this needs to be written down in your notes if you want credit for your homework. So again, everything you see that I typed in and that I wrote, all of this, get down, all right? Let's go ahead and move on. All right, so translating expressions, pretty simple idea, all right? We want 12 less than x. Well, what that's going to look like is subtraction in opposite order. So these two are going to switch. Normally when we translate, we go directly in order from left to right. But again, there are a few words that tell you a different order. All right? Looking at B. The sum of x and 7, sum means to add, so I'm adding x and 7. All right? You'll notice I put parentheses around the words the sum of. Okay, right here. All right, we'll come back to that. That's not important in this particular problem. All right, next one. The product means to multiply of 5 and y, so we write 5y. All right. Now, look at D and E, okay? They look very similar, but they are very different, okay? D says the difference of, which means subtraction, twice a number, and 8. You always put it in order. Okay. Now in E, you'll notice the word twice, which was originally in the middle of the problem, has moved to the front. And this changes what we say, or how we write it. The words the difference of, or the sum of, refer very specifically to the answer of that operation. So in this case, it's subtraction. So we want to take the answer of subtraction of a number and 8 and then double that or multiply it by 2. If we just put a 2 here, like we did in the last one, the multiplication becomes more important than the subtraction. Order of operation tells me multiplication is more important. But if I want to make the subtraction more important, I need to put parentheses around it. So general rule of thumb, all right, is anytime something happens before these two words especially, but really all four of these, all right, your sum, the difference, the product, the quotient, if you have something before it, then you need to put it in parentheses. Notice in example B, previously, all right, up here, there were no parentheses used here. There were no parentheses used in D, all right, because neither one of these had an operation before the words the sum of or the difference of. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We have 3 more to go. F has the quotient of x and 5. Quotient means to divide. Decreased by 12. Again, notice I'm reading it left to right. I'm translating it left to right. Twice the sum of, again, notice I have this example we just talked about where I have twice before the words the sum of. So that means my sum is going to be in parentheses. So now I have 5 more than 3 times a number. This is actually a typo right here. I meant to take that out. 5 more than 3 times a number. The word than switches order. Alright, so technically what we should have is this. 3 times a number moves out to the front because the word than is going to tell me to switch these two pieces. However, because more than is addition, it is okay to have this. Alright? But again, we want to get used to seeing it all the time because, as we saw earlier, it is not okay to have this like this. This is wrong. Alright? It's not okay in subtraction to switch the order if it's not needed. But in addition, it is okay to have it either way. So be careful with that. Alright, we'll get more practice with this in class. Alright, see you tomorrow.